The biggest liquor coming out of China, like what they're known for, is baijiu. It's a distilled grain spirit. It's kind of why it's also known as Chinese vodka, which really isn't fair. It's a completely different spirit, a very different flavor profile, a different mouthfeel, and I think it's a little bit more unique. And this is kind of very uniquely China. It's pretty cool. So what we have here is a liquor distilled from the sorghum grain, which can be found mostly around the Indian Ocean, Australia, India, parts of China. From what I gather, there's two main cities that produce what they call there's a term for it, I don't remember what it is, but it's essentially the highest end. And coming from those two distilleries, they're known for the highest quality and purity. Because it's a grain spirit, it's going to be fairly neutral, but we'll see. Like I said, I haven't personally ever tasted it in the raw before, so this is going to be an experience for all of us here, I feel like. So this is the $20 blend, the Red Star for $20. We'll go ahead and try this one real quick. Really what you should be doing is first you kind of swirl it, not really to aerate it or anything. I'm just curious about the body to see if it's viscous, to see if it's light. That's my reasoning behind it. And you go for the nose. And while you're breathing through your nose, breathe a little bit through your mouth so you can try and get a little bit on the back of your palate. It's hard to describe. So on the nose, what are you guys smelling? Do you get anything? There's a little bit of onion grass, or like buffalo grass.
Whatever it is.
I mean, it's potent. This is 56%, right? So it's 112 proof. Yeah, that's interesting. A little bit of sweetness. There's definitely grassy flavors, a little vegetal. It's very hot. You can feel it immediately. When you breathe in, that heat in your throat, that's referred to as hot. That's how you can tell the alcohol percentage.
There's definitely some flavor to it.
Exactly. That's what separates this from a traditional vodka, in that it's not hyper distilled. That's what we as a culture are obsessed with now, is ultimately removing any flavor from the original grain. That's why this is kind of unique and cool, is that you kind of keep that original sorghum grain flavor. So this is the $40, the Liang Chiew. Very curious about this. The bottle in and of itself is really interesting in design. So
Let's try again. Oh wow! Oh, I can smell it.
So this is a little bit hotter. This is 62% alcohol by volume. It's chalky. It's very interesting. It's not as sweet. The other one was had lots of residual sugar. This absolutely does not. This is much more vegetal. It's very unique. So this is the $80 one. This is a blend of 5 different grains, 2 types of rice. We have corn as well as the sorghum grain, wheat. It's definitely going to be interesting. This is 112 proof, so 52% alcohol by volume. And this is considered one of the best in China. It's called the magical liquor. So I'm looking forward to this. Hints of spearmint, licorice, white flowers. That's very unique.
That's very different. That is good.
It's very unique. I feel like this might be better with some rocks in it, a little bit of ice to dilute it.
Yeah.
Make it a little more palatable.
Let's try it.
You want to try that?
Yeah. That's
Sure.
a great flavor.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
The sweetness of it.
Did you come up with names for these?
That's the worst part of my job. Naming cocktails? Yeah. Very unique. That was fun. Moving to the cocktails?
For mixologists at home who might have a bottle of this, is there a different flavor profile that you would suggest maybe experimenting with outside of the...
Yeah, go more delicate. Instead of trying to overpower it, try and highlight it, I would say, based on what we tried here. Maybe with like some tea flavors, maybe green tea or chamomile. Lemon would probably go really well. Maybe some honey as a sweetener. Don't try and do sours. Don't try and do too much citrus. Don't try and do that kind of thing. I think a little bit of honey, a little bit of lemon with some green tea or maybe some chamomile. Cucumber was definitely a nice add to it. But go delicate instead of powerful and sweet and sour.
So, which one are you thinking is best for mixing?
I think this one, just because it is like the least complex, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. When it comes to cocktail, you don't want to throw too many variables into a drink. I think this one, the mouthfeel, the chalkiness, like that starchy root vegetable flavor profile, that's going to be a lot to deal with and try to work with. And with what I prepped, I'm not sure it's what's going to work best. And this one is definitely just too nice. I don't want to mess with this. It'd be a sin.